The Backrooms. You've been here before. Entity number 220, the Catmaster. In the monotone, concrete complex of Level 1, habitable zone, lighting up the gray landscape, a ginger tabby cat walked. Having been with his owner but 25 minutes ago, he wasn't sure where he was. He was happy to have the almond water from the floor, but he wanted home. No human. For a lot of time. Human where? The back rooms were no place for a cat. The cat always knew his way back home. He took much pride in this fact. But this time, he had no memory of coming to this car park? What? Lost? No, not lost. That I I was on floor and just was here. I get food? The cat then heard somebody's annoyed grumbling around the next corner. Human? Human! Human! He ran over to the source of the sound, but he saw a tall man who he had never seen before. Not my human. My human smells different. Smells like alcohol and rain. Human has food? The tall man did not care for his meowing. His mind was elsewhere. Food? In desperation, he convinced himself that, yes, the man's large cloak looked like food. Food? Food! Food! Yes. Hunt. Run. Bite. Wait. No? It tastes like... In that moment, the man turned around, and the cat's mind exploded. Access. Something is wrong. The cat's head spun in a cyclone of new and unfamiliar memories. He saw intense visions of himself with immense power. He could remember. He felt like a valve in his head was released, and his identity was flushing back into the crevices of his brain. Then he remembered his early days as a god. He would protect people from danger and guide them to safety. Oftentimes, he would spend much of the day in the crossroads, but he knew his duty and wished passionately to carry it out. He remembered going to stand by passageways between realms and how he would guide people through them. Lost people would see him, and he felt joy when he saw the relief cross their faces. They would be taken to safety. As time went on, he became fond of the possessions that humans created themselves. He would, each night, accept offerings, promising a key for their door or a key for their souls. The offerings he received never truly satisfied him, though. Perhaps he wanted more than humans could give. He remembered, finally, that his followers moved once to transgress against him. It was, otherwise, a quite uneventful day. He hadn't done much of anything during the daytime, but he still sat down at the end of the day to receive offerings. This day, while taking offerings, he received a bowl of crimson liquid. He didn't think about what it was. He quickly drank it at once, and it tasted foul, coppery, like blood, like iron. He clutched his chest and fell to the floor, and he felt like his body was being torn apart, like it had been rearranged into something different. He plotted a through line between these memories. I've been turned into a beast! The gatekeeper passed out. Revision. Passed out. Habitats. Majority. Notably, the hub. Image caption. Entity 220. Description. Entity 220 is a black house cat which appears to bear great similarities to the keymaster. Behaviors. Entity 220 behaves in a manner similar to a common house cat, but is known to be highly irritable, especially when its own nature is being discussed near it. It does seem capable of understanding human speech in English, but it seems unable to write, perhaps due to a lack of dexterity. Footnote: an experiment involving Babel Balm was planned, but was not carried out before the entity left Meg custody. End footnote. Biology. Entity 220 appears to be a domestic black cat with glowing white eyes and a black liquid coming out of its ears, slightly resembling abyssal ooze. Note, see Entity 73, Abyssal Ooze / Kirai. Upon further inspection, This substance is tacky, extremely caustic, and quite painful to touch. It is difficult to say where exactly the substance originates, but it drips at a constant rate of about 0.2 ounces per hour, unless the cat is sleeping, in which case the rate increases to 0.4 to 0.5 ounces per hour. The entity's eyes glow at about 40 to 45 lumens. The glow peeks through the entity's eyelids when it blinks or has its eyes intentionally closed. But when it is sleeping, the glow stops. The entity seems to directly seek out food and water to survive, but the effects of food deprivation have not been tested on the entity as of yet. Discovery. Entity 220 was first discovered when it came into the custody of Meg Outpost Doorstep Carpet. Note, see the enigmatic level, the hub. The keymaster arrived at the base with the entity in a cage, appearing disheveled with claw marks on his face and missing a piece of his cloak. He was insistent on the Meg taking the entity in, and departed from the base before anyone had the chance to refuse. While in Meg custody, several tests were performed on Entity 220, which yielded the contents of this entity. After 2 days, Entity 220 was witnessed coughing up a level key. This development was intriguing, as it was likely that the entity may share all the abilities of the Keymaster, including level key generation. Unfortunately, on the 4th day, Entity 220 suddenly went missing. Its cage was found open and empty. The current whereabouts of Entity 220 remain unknown, but sightings of it have been reported in numerous levels since its escape. Do's and don'ts. Do. Report sightings of the entity to the Meg. Act nicely to the entity and offer it food or water. This is the best way to get the entity to give you a level key. Don't. Attempt to hurt the entity. Discuss the entity's nature around it.